Hello, welcome back to Foos Entertainment. This time for my review of 1993's Jason Goes to Hell, the Final Friday, part of the new Scream Factory Deluxe Edition Friday the 13th box set in Blu-ray with new color corrections, 2K scans, and 4K scans on Baron film. Alright, now I will not be talking about the movie because I have reviewed this film already back in 2018, so I'll be talking about the quality of the new version of the movie, as well as things that may or may not have liked about this release. Alright, first let's show out the cover. That's the original poster work, I might add. This is also original poster work. This is the title card poster. So the teaser poster is pretty much exactly the same thing, only the text for the title card is pretty cheap and pretty much bullshit. There's two versions of the film in this movie. Well, I will say 1.5 versions, because this actually does not have the full unrated cut. I looked out on the third film in this box set, but when it comes to the little tiny unrated sequence towards the third act of the film, in which the cook in the diner has his wrist pretty much snapped in half, and you see it on camera, is not existent in the unrated cut of this movie. Will I be replacing this disc? No. Why? Because I don't think that one little tiny thing like that is worth the big fuss. At least to me it's not. To everybody else that is worth a big fuss too, then yes, I do suggest that you replace the disc if you have that problem. Unless of course you got the new shipments of this box set, which probably don't have that problem. But for me, one little tiny 2-second, not even 1 second, 1 second little sequence that's just not there that usually is in the unrated cut of the film doesn't bug me. But it's also because I was never a fan of the uncut version of the film. I think that sometimes too much gore is, well, too much. And you really should just put it at that. Sometimes it's too much, and I don't like it when it's too much. There's a limit to how much I can take when it comes to the screaminess of gore. And then I thought that all the extended stuff in the unrated cut of the film was way too much. Now, as for the color correction in a new 2K scan for Jason Goes to Hell, Final Friday, the new 2K scan is very good. The color correction is very good. This looks truest as ever looked to this original 1993 theatrical release of the film on the big screen. The 5.1 DTS HD Master Audio, as well as the Stereo Surround 2.0 Master Audio's presentation, is very, very good on both sound sources on this movie. This is definitely a new sound presentation from the original 8 tracks. It does not have that muffled, everything takes place on the surrounds, as it sort of echoes on the front speakers, the center speaker sound that you had in previous releases of this movie, but it's actually more balanced audio. It sounds more true to what I think it originally was. The picture, a lot more digital looking, a lot more warm tones. It looks more like a 90s film now instead of looking like an overly digital movie like it did in previous releases. So this is the way it's supposed to look, is the way it looks in this release. So there's actually a little more good things to say about this release than bad things. For people that think that one little tiny scene is worth all the fuss, then yeah, by all means, if they have that problem, replace the disc. Scream Factory's already put out a press release saying that you can do that. To me, it's just not worth it. The little thing I figured out about this movie recently is there was a lot of thought put into giving an explanation as to what Jason Voorhees actually is. And this goes to a theory created by the film's director, Adam Marcus, who basically came to the idea that Jason in the Friday the 13th franchise exist in the same universe as the Evil Dead franchise. And how he came to this conclusion is that he found it was a lot easier to explain that Jason Voorhees was brought back to life from his mom with the Necromonica, and that he's a Deadite, which could explain his superhuman strength, why you can't kill him no matter what the hell you do, how he can go ahead and be a little kid at the very end of the first film, if it was indeed not a dream sequence, and grow all the way into a 20-something-year-old man by the second film, which takes place only 3 months later. So little things like that. Alan Marcus' explanation is that he was resurrected from the dead after being killed from drowning in the Chemicals Lake in 1957 with the Necromonica, Ex Mortis, the Book of the Dead from the Evil Dead franchise. Now, do I support this theory? It's an interesting theory, and it does make sense, but no. It was always intended to be a dream sequence at the end of the first movie. That was supposed to be in Alice's head. It wasn't actually real. And the real theory is that Jason saw in the shadows his mom being decapitated by Alice at the end of the first film. And she just imagined from the legend of Jason that he pulled her underneath the water. But she actually got hysterical and fell in the water on her own. And Jason, basically, after living in the wilderness off to the land, is a mountain man for 15, 20 years, goes ahead and tracks down Alice and kills her. And now how he gets superhuman strength is, well, he got killed in 3 days. Because part 2, 3, and 4 take place over the course of 3 days. And he gets brought back to life, Frankenstein creature style, with lightning in the 6th film. That makes a little bit more sense and has more continuity than all the movies. He's a zombie, and that's what makes more sense. Zombie Jason needs to can't kill. But I do like Alan Marcus's little theory that he's a Deadite, brought back from the Book of the Dead, and he's a part of the Evil Dead mythology as well. That is a cool theory. It'd be interesting to see what people think of that. Either way, both have a good explanation for what Jason really is. But that's something I figured out about this movie. I just kind of liked. I want to throw it out there. But yes, much better version of the film. Much better version. I do recommend it. If you have that little 1 second that's not there in the unrated cut of the film and you want to get that replaced, Scream Factory is doing that. Alright, I'll see you guys next time for next review. Until then.